Hello. So today I'm going to chat to you about multitasking and why you shouldn't do it, because it doesn't work. So it's really easy to multitask, especially when we're so busy or we think we can multitask because we've got so many things to be done. Surely we can pop a couple of them together and do them at the same time. Well, not quite. The truth is that we simply can't multitask. It's not possible for things that require thought, and it's only possible for our brain to actually process one focused thought at a time. So to put information into our short-term memory, that requires us to focus. And then the brain later converts the thoughts into long-term memory for us to access later. So if they don't make it through in the first place, then we have no way of remembering them. And we can't recall things if we weren't paying focused attention. So when you really think about it and think about multitasking, it's actually wasting our time. And we'll need to redo what it was that we wanted to learn in the first place, because the thought processes haven't gone through. I'm not going to get too technical, but the brain just doesn't process it the way it's meant to. So many of us think that we can multitask. And we can to a degree. If something is on autopilot, you can do it simultaneously, as long as one doesn't require concentration. But once you do need to focus, then you will stop even that mundane task that doesn't require focus. So, for a good example of this is we can walk and talk, or we can walk and talk on the phone. But then once we actually hear something riveting or that we have to really concentrate on, we stop walking. Or we stop ironing if we're ironing and chatting on the phone. I was very guilty of this. As a mother of 6 and lots going on, I really thought I had multitasking down pat. And then I studied neuroscience and I found out that it wasn't possible. And the other thing that I found out was that people who think they're great at multitasking, like me, they're usually actually the worst. So it's really worth pausing, focusing on just one thing, and then actually going on to the next task. Because even when you're madly multitasking, like I always was, 6 kids on the go, studying, working, all the rest of it, what I was actually doing was jumping from one topic to another and then back. And each time we jump, we have to refocus. So you're losing a lot of time. And the brain literally cannot do both thought processes at once. So when somebody says to you, "Oh, keep talking, I'm listening," and they're madly checking their phone or working, they're actually not, because it's not possible for them to concentrate on what they're doing. So you can just remind them and say, it's actually not possible. Just pause for a minute and listen to me, or I'll talk to you when you finish that. Multitasking is not an easy habit to break. It certainly wasn't for me, because I had done it for many, many years, but it's worth breaking it. And, I'm still guilty of it now. Sometimes, I've got 100 tabs open. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. And I'll flick between one or the other. But as I find I'm getting a little bit stressed, or I'm getting a bit frazzled, my productivity's dropping, then I'll close all the other tabs bar the one that I'm working on. And so I'll actually bring my focus back to just that one thing. So single tasking is actually the only way to really get something done, if you want to do it really well. So it's a false economy to actually jump from one thing to the other, or try and do them at the same time. So single task works, believe me. So tell me, are you a multitasker, or are you a single focused person? And if you are a multitasker, what things do you commonly try and get done at the same time? Share with me in the comments. I'd love to hear. Bye.